DC is again at the front of the news over the weekend. Let's bring our panel back. Stephanie Hamill, Jenna Morgan. Over the weekend, there was the headline that the National Guard will now be armed walking DC streets, to which I said, they weren't armed before? That seems problematic. What you're just having people walk around in uniform and not have the ability to defend themselves or the people they're there to protect? That seems crazy. But of course, the libs lost their mind at that. Jenna, why is it that for some reason, and we've seen now so many people in DC saying, hey, it's actually great here now, now that the National Guard is in place, the crime is down, there have been 0 homicides since Trump took over. Why is this just such a jerk reaction to, well, this is just bad because Trump is doing it?
Because, of course, having cops save more lives and arguably more Black lives is somehow racist. But when you don't have officers protecting the Black community, then it's Black Lives Matter. I don't truly understand the logic whatsoever. I would much rather live in a state and a area where I could walk around freely. And just like you mentioned, I've seen tons of videos of especially the Black community saying how they don't have to look over their shoulder. They're not even carrying their own guns that they do have because they're thoroughly enjoying the fact that they have protection now.
Yeah, it seems to be a pretty oxymoronical position to take of like, yeah, we care about safety, but also screw you for trying to implement safety. Stephanie, you're someone who's very familiar with Washington, D.C. Clearly, it's obviously it's super safe. You never have to worry about any crime happening to you when you're walking down around the district. And it's been that way for 100 years. Why is Trump doing such an evil thing, putting safety protocols in Washington, D.C.?
Joe Bob, you're right. I did live there for about 3 years. And at the time, it was during the first Trump era. And DC was still dangerous. I can't even imagine how bad it is right now in 2025. I haven't been there since COVID. When COVID happened, I fled the area because it was starting to turn into Dawn of the Dead and the grocery stores were empty and all the zombies were coming out. But yeah, when you move there, it's a little deceiving because the city's so beautiful. I mean, everything's just so amazing. All the architecture, the United States Capitol, our White House. I mean, everything is just amazing and inspiring. Yeah. But then there's the hidden secret that there's tons of crime there. And I naively thought that I wouldn't be affected by it. But one day I went jogging to the wharf. I was like pretty close to the White House, probably like 3 or 4 minutes walking distance. And there was a group of teenagers, about like 10 Black teenagers, and they were on bikes and they were acting erratically. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. All of a sudden they swarmed me and robbed me. And the saddest part was there was older guys with them, probably like 18, 19, 20. And they sent the little ones in to rob me. They were like 12, 13, 14. Keep in mind, I'm only 5'2". So these, younger teenagers are about my size. And I'm lucky nothing worse happened, but it was terrifying to get robbed right in front of a touristy area. I mean, people watched this all go down. And guess what happened? Not one person was arrested. Nobody was held accountable. And meantime, I've had like a PTSD ever since then. I have to walk with my head on the swivel, hoping that I'm not going to get robbed or anything worse. So yeah, DC crime's bad. The Democrats always try to manipulate the numbers and, via their, friends with the police department, they're, not counting certain crimes anymore. So they're telling you it's safe, but we all know it's not safe. And one more fact is that the criminals know that you can't defend yourself. I don't know if you know this, but you can't even carry mace into important areas. So you can carry 1.5 ounces of mace, but you can't carry it on public transportation. You can't take it into any of the federal buildings. So most everyone who lives in the radius of the important parts of DC are usually taking public transportation or going into federal buildings. So in other words, you literally can't protect yourself. You can't carry a weapon or a firearm, and it's very difficult to get a concealed carry license. So those are the type of things that need to be looked at as well.
Yeah, holy cow, that is a crazy story. I mean, obviously, that didn't really happen because DC is, of course, safe. That would never happen to anybody there. But yeah, holy cow, glad you're safe. And
I didn't even mention the crack deals and stuff that were going on behind my apartment that I was renting. Like, you would hear crazy things going on. And if you ever used Union Station, the Amtrak area, it was Dawn of the Dead there every single time. It was terrifying. And yeah, there's people who have drug problems, people who are mentally ill. But those people, I mean, it is not a good place for them to be. They need help and they need to be cleared out of there. And I'm glad that the Trump administration is working on that as well.
Yeah, again, I'm obviously being sarcastic. It's just, it's wild that people think that DC is just this utopic place where nothing bad ever happens, and so why would anybody why would Trump send in the National Guard there?